The Democrats and the leftists in this country have been trying to divide us along racial lines. And at the same time, they've been trying to pin a lot of the problems of these minority communities on white people because apparently it's all our fault. But this, of course, is going to cause a whole set of new issues that Steven Crowder is going to warn some people about. In this case, some members of the black community. And this conversation is going to go pretty much as well as you'd think. So before we get to these clips, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And this video is going to break through the algorithms. Here we go.
Look, like you said, white people are the majority of this country. You have young white people who are getting more and more mad. I'm just telling you the truth.
What they mad?
And they have the guns. They're mad because this thing. Here's why. Here's why. They go, look, I'm 12 times more likely to be killed by a black person than you are a white person. And you go, well, that doesn't count. They go, look, my dad's business got burned down.
Yeah.
My city got burned down. I've been accused of being a racist, even though I'm not. And I'm looking at this right now, and I'm not allowed to have an opinion, and I can't go into certain neighborhoods because I get my ass kicked. And then you just say, yeah, but you've had systemic power. That is a surefire way to breed racism.
You know what bothers me about white people, and this is kind of
everything.
No, not everything. Not everything.
But we smell like wet dog or some. I've heard all this stuff.
Let me tell you what bothers me about white people. Let's be honest here, because I work with a lot of white people, so I have nothing against them at all. Let me be honest with you. But the problem the biggest problem that I have is that you constantly get bombarded with the excuses, all right? When you really come down to it, let's be honest, man, and let's be really truthful with one another. Ask yourself, what do you expect when you look at architectural oppression, economic depravity, and social disparity? What would you call it? I mean,
bad decisions.
Huh?
Bad decisions.
Bad decisions.
Yeah, I think right now in 2025, it's bad decisions. I think everyone can make better decisions.
And you know what? I'll even go here with you. In all fairness, I think that's absolutely true. So my question for you is, how do we move past this?
Yeah. Okay.
How do we move past
I agree with you. I agree. And I think maybe we'll find some common ground here. If we agree there is personal accountability and bad decisions, and I think we also all agree that feminist white are the worst demographic in the country, along with lesbians.
There's a great book that says that they were her product. See, that's what I'm saying.
Like, I'm telling you, like, believe me, I don't have hold on. Let me just clarify, and I mean that. Angry white feminist and lesbians, because if they didn't vote, we wouldn't have half of the shit. But, and this is one thing I appreciate about black men, that white men are so, black men can talk about these things, and black men are okay being masculine. White men are told it's sexist. There's a lot there. Personal accountability decisions. Now, just take that and apply it. What you kind of just did here is you blamed white people, without realizing it, for systemic discrimination, and that removes autonomy from a white person to be accountable and also rewarded for their good decisions. So if we agree it's bad decisions, personal accountability, we'd all be against reparations, and we'd all be against the criminal justice reform.
I'm definitely for reparations.
I'm for reparations.
So
see, that to me, you said excuse.
Yeah.
That sounds like an excuse to me.
You ain't paid me back. You ain't paid me for what you owe me.
What did I take from you?
You can't start another bill.
What did I take from you?
Until you pay this old bill.
What did I take from you?
You didn't take, but your ancestors.
But you just said you.
Well, when I say you, I meant it as a euphemism.
But can you understand why white people hear it and get pissed off?
Yeah.
Because I didn't take shit.
But they're not mad about the advantages that were built into their lives.
So you want young people to pay? It sounds like an excuse.
And even without paying us back, Steve, know what my thoughts are on this here. Give us an opportunity to exercise our ability and our autonomy. Let me give you a perfect example. There's a gal right now, her name is Joy Reid. Look up her.
I know Joy Reid. She's out of her mind.
Look up her educational background. You don't think Harvard gave her a degree just because she was a black person or DEI, do you?
I think she's an idiot.
Okay, so
but not because she's black, because she's an idiot.
Okay, so you're entitled to that.
I think Van Jones is smart, and I disagree with him. Joy Reid has said things that are so verifiably untrue. It's insane.
Okay, so but you know, as a man, I'm going to indulge you and say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to indulge you. I'm going to respect your opinion, your frame of thought on that, right? I beg to differ tremendously, but nevertheless, though, that's why we're having this open discussion. But let's really talk about where we need to go from here on, and that is the fact that black people have every sense of entitlement as it relates to having reparations, and I'm going to tell you why, right? Because nobody has ever been as more loyal to white people despite the treatment than black people have, right? Nobody. You show me one race. You know what? They make options and opportunities available when other ethnicities come here or what have you that we will never get a chance to have, right? And then they turn around and tell us, stop asking about reparations. Whenever we want to ask for equality and fairness, it's a problem, especially when you talk about black.
Because money doesn't fix a problem. It's that
money doesn't.
We've thrown money at the problem, and it doesn't do shit.
Solve the problem. That's the core root of it, and started reforming the real academia, all right? That's where you started. So you know what you tell people? We're going to operate in a system of meritocracy. God damn it, you will eat what you kill. If you're giving you $50,000 to go to school and you decide that you don't want to, or you fail to adhere to what's being presented before you, then shame on you.
I agree. You do away with DEI, you do away with the sex affirmative action, do away with all of it. Eat what you kill.
Do away with DEI, but make it fair across the board.
But that's what I'm saying.
I agree.
If you're going to do away with DEI, you got to make sure that the merits are properly being counted. Because the reason why DEI was invented, reason why affirmative action was invented, is because you'd have two qualified candidates, same qualifications, but one would get in strictly because his name was Johnny and the other one's name was Jamal. Well, we're going to take Johnny. Because naturally, Johnny's going to be better at it, but they got the same qualifications. That's why affirmative action was instituted in the first place.
DEI came in because of shrinking white feminists wanted to claim credit.
That's a snapshot you can present it in, but
I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah, that's a snapshot you can present it in, but I'm just saying, like, the reason why.
No, what I'm saying is,
why.
I'm being flippant, but the truth is, black people were being admitted in record numbers if they had the same qualifications before DEI and affirmative action. White shrieking feminists wanted to take credit for something that was already happening because people had become less racist, so they can say, tag my white name on there, DEI. See what I did for black people? It's white guilt. And what I'm trying to tell you is young people who have nothing to do with any of this, their guilt is running out, and you can't escape the violent murder rate. You can't escape them losing opportunities and being blamed for being racist when they're not. And you want those kids to pay reparations? You're creating a generation of racists.
So what I'm seeing in this discussion is people just kind of talking past each other, because what I found is that many black people actually have very conservative principles. However, they've been brainwashed by the leftist institutions to believe in reparations, to believe in DEI and affirmative action, and these things that actually really don't help their community. All right. But of course, what's Steven Crowder's point? He's out here actually saying, you know, when you go up to white people and you say, you know what, you're racist, there's nothing you can do to fix your racism, and therefore you will always be guilty. That creates animosity. That creates ill will. That creates anger, and that's not going to lead to a good place. So we have to get away from all of that. And what's surprising to me is that in the same breath, we're talking about personal responsibility, right? You kill what you eat, but then also the black community is deserving of reparations, okay? That does not make any sense whatsoever. What the leftists, of course, are encouraging right now with reparations is giving away money to people who were never oppressed from people who never oppressed them. That's what the modern day reparation fight is all about, all right? So even though we're going to talk about personal responsibility and accountability, and yes, he even uses the word meritocracy, we're still going to fall back on, oh, we're deserving of this because of treatment from the past or some such. Even though the gentleman in the glasses agrees that, yes, in 2025, the horrible lifestyles of some peoples in these minority communities is caused by bad decision-making, all right? Poor choices. So you can see how close we actually are to agreement, right? Agreeing on meritocracy, agreeing on personal life choices, agreeing that, yes, you should be held accountable for your actions, but then disagreeing on, oh, we still deserve money or something like that for things that happened in the past, okay? And that, of course, brings up the idea of affirmative action and DEI. Stuff that Steven Crowder points out is being championed by crazy leftist feminists, okay? Things that make them feel good about their own personal white guilt that they received from the leftist institutions, okay? But does this really help the community? And does this, of course, speak to the idea of personal responsibility and meritocracy? And the answer, of course, is no. America has become a much more fair and equal place over the last 60 to 70 years, and there's no reason that anybody's being held back in this modern day because of systemic issues. It's all now about your personal choice, your personal responsibility, and what you are able to do. Otherwise, we're just driving a continued wedge between the races in this country. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and say hi to your mom for me. Do you like t-shirts? Of course you do. And now you can support the channel by buying an Angry Teacher t-shirt designed by me, Angry Teacher. So if you like America, if you like freedom, if you like liberty, then go ahead and click the link in the description, where all designs, of course, are 100% mother approved. So enjoy yourself and find something you like today.